I have new glasses here tonight. And don't they look pretty funkalicious? Funky funk. I don't know what I think about them. I've had the same glasses. See, I'm obviously, hi, Brian, you sweet thing. I am very adverse to change. I had the same glasses for the past, I don't know, 8-9 years. So, and I have done something here. Okay, so I'm going to see how this goes. So here's the deal. Like, I have 30 days to figure out if I like these or not. You like the glasses. So you have to tell me if you like, they seem so big and they kind of cat eye out and they're blue. Can you see that they're blue? They're blue. They're not, they're blue. They're not brown. They told me that it goes black, then brown, and then blue. And blue was a neutral color. And they said, it shows off your eyes and all these things. I'm like, shows off your eyes. I don't know about that, brother. But I loved him. So anyway, it was Ian over at, oh, geez. I should know. I told him I was going to talk about him. And I can't find, oh, no. He's over at the eyeglasses place. Eyeglasses City? Eyeglasses, I don't know, on Ann Arbor Sling Road in Ann Arbor by the Myers. He was amazing. He was amazing. So I strongly suggest you go see Ian, and I think her name is Heidi. Super adorable. So, okay, I'm trying to get this situated right. I know for most of you YouTubers, you're already like, I'm not going to listen to you. You're not saying anything. Trust me. Okay, you like them. You like them a lot. You think they're pretty. I'm a hot mama. Okay. Hola, Vanessa. Okay. Similar ones I just got. So your feeling is a big, this is like double the size of my other glasses. But I planned to lose my glasses. I mean, I didn't plan to lose it. I planned on at some point I would lose my glasses. So I bought a backup pair, and from eBay. So I bought a frame, and I got those done too. So now I have 2 glasses, and these will be my carry around, throw around kind of stuff. And my other ones will be, my very serious. I love them like more than life. I don't love my glasses more than life because that would be silly. So everybody, I'm on YouTube and I am on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, I want to make sure that you get aware that at some point I'll be cutting off Facebook and going over to just my YouTube channel. So if you have not subscribed yet, I am going to put a link in the subscription part of I don't know. I'm going to find my YouTube thing and then figure it out. Or maybe somebody else can. Maybe Cheryl will do it for me. That would be nice, Cheryl. If you could put my page, connect it there. Or somebody. So anyway, okay, I'm glad you like my glasses. We got a lot to talk about tonight because there's so much to talk about. First, I lost my glasses. Second, in all of the snow, I lost my keys. So holy cow. And it was Valentine's Day. Did anybody do anything exciting for Valentine's Day? Valentine's Day was the day I found out I was having twins years ago. So I take my twins and my daughter and we go do something fun. And this year we went to Castaway Bay, like a water theme park. So much fun. Anyway, if you get a chance to go there, it was like the wave pool is amazing. Just go do it. It was just do it. And the experience is way better than not, Okay, so first I want to talk about that. Second, I want to talk about, what's the other thing I want to talk about? There's a couple of things I really want to touch on when we're talking about, about life, right? Okay, so first thing, when you're talking about life, if you're going, see, I'm going to keep playing with my glasses, and if it's a problem, let me know. So one of the things I want to talk about with life, if you're going at the speed of light in life, you really have, you guys can't see the fireplace either. So there. If you're going at the speed of light of life, you don't have a lot of time to stop and really, maybe I gotta sit down. It's a big sit down though. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Because who doesn't want to see the fireplace on a horrible snowy day in Michigan? So now you can see that they're blue, right? Okay. If you're going at the speed of light, you have no time to stop and have no time to really understand what's actually happening and contemplating what's going on. And if you're not contemplating what's going on, what actually ends up happening is that you just keep making the same things over and over again. The same choices, the same things, what you've been conditioned to think and do. Your conditioning to think and do is usually not something that you have chosen your own path, right? It's what people have told you should do. And I know I've said this a million times. I'll say it a million times more. It's what people have told you should be doing, how to succeed in life. But your success may not look like anybody else's success. Your idea, mission, place for being on this earth could be a million times different than what culturally speaking. And then when you get into the culture side, you get to a lot of like breaking out of your culture or your cultural norms is a really difficult thing to do because it takes a lot of forethought, a lot of understanding. I sound a little bit like South Park dude. So, and I am fighting yet another cold. So, so understand that when you are fighting, when you are doing things you don't want to be doing or doesn't make your soul happy, and I'm really talking, I'm going to talk a lot to the women out here right now and people who have found themselves kind of in the middle stage of life and they're pretty unhappy with where they're at. I want to talk and say, oh, I have to see that. Okay. There, I finally see messages. I'm sorry, everybody on YouTube, I see it. Okay, so I apologize for that, Susie. I didn't see you. Happy birthday. Okay, so hi, Connie. So when you this cold is really kicking my butt tonight. When you're going at the speed of light, there is no time to stop, separate, and understand what you're doing, what you want to do, where you want to go. It's usually spinning, treading, just spinning and treading your wheels. Now, and then when things change, like let's say you get something, it's called actually a Diderot effect. So, let's say that things begin to shift and change and you begin to break out. Like Diderot is, I don't really want to go into all of him, but I do just want to say that usually Diderot was a French philosopher. And what he ended up doing was getting he was very broke. So he had, like a straw thing. He had a beat up kitchen table, a beat up this, a beat up that, didn't have a mirror, right? And then all of a sudden he came into all this money and he started spending money after spending money. Well, you get this beautiful clothing. It doesn't really go with the chair anymore. You need to get a leather chair. Then you don't get the leather chair. You got to get, a new kitchen table. Then you got to get a new couch. And then you got to get all new furniture. And it has an effect where you just keep one thought compounds upon the next thought that compounds upon the next thought that compounds upon the next thought. And you're doing it. One, it's human nature. Two, you're doing it because you're like, oh, I have this. I've found myself into, I found myself in this, things now look different than what did. It doesn't vibe with what you had. So I really want to offer that there's a negative Diderot effect and there's a positive Diderot effect. You can connect things to make them positive and change systematically an intention and intentionally begin to move what's happening in your life by, let's just say, every morning, I don't know, being in a relationship takes a lot of work. Being in a relationship is a ton of work. So let's just say you're committed to your relationship and you really want to make a lot of stuff happen there. So you say 8 o'clock, I'm going to make my spouse tea. So every morning at 8 o'clock, I'm going to get up, I'm going to make my spouse tea. It becomes a habit, but it's an intention. And it then begins this Diderot effect, where you're getting a positive feedback loop of what's happening around you. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm talking about really two very big things. Too slow for you. Okay, totally fine. I understand that. So the Diderot effect can be positive. Okay, good. It does make sense, Kim. Thank you so much for saying that over there at YouTube. I appreciate it. So you can make it either way. You can have a positive Diderot effect. You can have a negative Diderot effect. You can, but without forethought and intention, you will just spin either way, not knowing which way you want to go. It's just literally whatever kind of happens now, then there's nothing around it that's going to shift or change because you don't have the attention around it. If you don't have the intention, and we have spoken about this idea over and over again for the past year or 2 years that we've been doing these, is that your emotions, your feelings are your guidance system within this earth space. Your guidance system to move closer to energy, to move out of energy, to stay with these friends, to not stay with these friends, to make new friends, to branch out, to stay living where you're at, to stay not living where you're at. You have to notice and recognize. So, okay, I know I'm going to talk about all this immediate. Okay, so now we got the Diderot positive, negative, intention, feelings, all the way how you guide everything, right? So every week we talk about something different. We do all these different things. So I want to bring this back into living your highest life. What I do is I give messages from guides, angels, or deceased loved ones that help you deal with passing. Yeah, helps you deal with passing, helps people live into their lives things that are holding them back. So I will come in and we'll have a session. So so when we're here, when we're in this setting, it works very similar to a group setting. I'll receive messages from angels, guides, deceased loved ones, and I will just give them. There is a delay from when I talk to when you receive it, so there's no time for me to find out. I trust that every message that I'm getting is given to exactly who it's supposed to be given to, and there's no but an and it can land on everybody, and there's all this and is that it can also be relevant for anybody who watches any of these videos a year from now, 2 years from now, 3 years from now. So, okay. All right. Does that make sense? Okay. So you, positive Diderot, negative Diderot. Intention is what's going to either decide if you're going to spiral up and spiral positively, or spiral down and spiral where you could either be hurting yourself financially, emotionally, physically, those sorts of things. So, allow yourself to connect with your emotions to understand where you're getting pulled to. How your emotions pull you will just let you know if you're living in alignment or not living in alignment. And I know, Susie, you said, I know. I use the. Right. There's a famous rapper that I follow. I follow a lot of rappers, but there's one in particular. It's like if you set your mind to it, whatever you set your mind to, it'll happen. So it's either if you're setting your mind to something positive, you're setting your mind to something positive, but you have to have the intention. You need to have the forethought and the emotional oomph to get going. Okay. So yeah, you need to take, so again, we started with, if you're going at the speed of light and you're not stopping and not slowing down, then you're not going to get your messages. You're not going to get them as clearly and as vibrantly as you possibly could. So I know I want to take this. So okay. I know I told you guys, I went to, now Brent, okay, I'm James, I'm going to have to do that oregano oil because I think tonight would be a great night to sing the blues. I'm just telling you. It would be awesome. If I could play the guitar, I'd be like, play the guitar and sing the blues for you guys. But I can't play it without any accompanying music, and I don't have an accompaniment. Okay, so I want to talk about how interesting it was to be at the water park. To be at the water park. When I'm in life, I'm always looking and how this comprehends how things are going in life. So, okay, get in the wave pool. Pretty intense. I mean, it actually wasn't really that much of an intense wave pool, but it was definitely a lot of fun. So I'm in the wave pool with my kids, and they're like, we're jumping and flying and going all over the place and having a good time. And and when I was going with the flow and not predicting, but really feeling, allowing my body to like move with the flow and things move through me, then it was easy, right? But the moment that I started to fight and I fell, and then I fell, and I fell, and I had a really hard time getting my footing. So I want to offer the idea is you can get your footing in life if you keep going with the flow. Just allow the flow to come to you and move through you. If you hold on and you're really rigid about how things, the undertow is going to sweep you down and then push you back down, and then push you back down, and you're going to have a harder time getting up over and over again. It's going to take a lot of energy, and it's going to make it so it's really hard to get up, and you skin your knee. I skinned my knee because the bottom of those pools are not very comforting. So, okay, I hope that makes sense, because going with the flow is a better way. And the minute you fall and you go back and you fight to get back up, and you fight to get back up, and you fight to get back up, that could be indicative of a 5-year time in your life. It's not as quick as a wave pool. Sometimes you make decisions where you fight against, and it takes a long time to turn those decisions around, to turn those, I don't really want to call them consequences, but turn around your free will choices. It can take a long time. And in that time, you can, many things can happen. And I'm going to especially speak to it. I'm especially going to, you know what I'm going to speak to? I'm going to speak to this. This is what I'm going to speak to. I'm starting to get hot next to this fire. I personally am finding as I get older, like I don't necessarily have the same hope that I did 10 years ago, 15 years ago. We could just look at life and be like, oh, I see where this is going. It's like chug-a-lug-a-lug. We're going to be right here. It's going to be awesome, right? I can see down the road. I can see down the road. I can see it. It's exciting. It's this. I think we have done a lot to really map out developmental stages for children, right? Usually through 18. Like we always forget that brains actually grow to 26. Takes a long time to grow up. Takes a long time to grow up in this life. It just does. So I'm going to ascertain that adult psychology, adult developmental behaviors or times isn't looked at like we do 0 to 3 months or 3 to 6 months or 6 to 18 months or whatever, like months that we do for kids isn't mimicked when you get to be an adult. It's just kind of figured like, oh, you're an adult. You've got it. You're just going to keep going. I don't think it works that way. I actually think, and I'm coming more in contact with this when I do more sessions, that people who are this age, who are in the middles, I'm going to call you in the middles, right? I'm going to call you guys in the middles, and then it's harder to see your path being happy. There's an easier, you may have had a failed relationship, a failed marriage. Maybe you've had a couple failed marriages, and you don't necessarily think that you can, and that I'll just use myself as an example. Like you don't necessarily, like you've sworn off all sort of relationships, right? How many have done that? Maybe you don't want to admit that. You don't have to admit it, so don't feel any pressure. But it may be something that you have done. Sworn it off, said, forget about it. I'm not going to do it. the minute that you hold on to something that tight, remember, I talked about this in the Doreen Virtue thing. When you hold on to something so tight, it's going to come out in different ways. It's going to get you in different ways. But you may, because you're like, forget about it. I'm not going to do it. It's never going to happen again. I swear off this. And I'm just going to use relationship. I'm just going to use that as a metaphor for, life, different side of life. That I'm not going to do it. What can happen is that if you don't recognize that you really are a being, you're a social being. We are social animals. We are in the 8 family. That's just totally true. Every 8 family is social. We want to have relationship. We want to have that connection. So I want to offer this. I just roll it over in your brain for the next week. Tell me what you think about it. Send me a private message. Do whatever, do whatever it takes. I am really interested to hear how this lands with you. Oh, my voice is starting to get worse. Okay. So, if you hold on that tightly to, I can't have it, I shouldn't have it, it's never going to work out, it's never going to be something that's going to be, I'm not going to choose the right people, I'm not going to be with, I want to offer that you actually, if you begin to think and just recognize, even as a third person, oh, I noticed that, I don't know, I'm going to use Sarah, because it's a nice name. Sarah, I'm noticing Sarah, or I'm noticing Janny. I'm noticing they want a relationship. I'm noticing that that's happening. Now, again, I'm just using this as a metaphor. I'm just using it as an idea. If you notice and you can recognize it comes up in your field, you're not squeezing the hell out of it, and you're not going to kind of push it and then it come out sideways, where you start some kind of crazy relationship that's not thought out, because you're going the speed of light and you're absolutely denying. Thank you, Sarah. I was thinking about you. You're absolutely denying something that is really true. And it is possible, Zara, hear me. It is possible that there are people that are healthy and fun and exciting to have a relationship with. Just open to the idea, open to the fact of that. And okay, I did a lot of talking tonight, and it's super hot, and my voice is starting to go. And here is the problem: is I have to tell you that I have a ton of sessions and readings this week. So I have a group reading at Sal's on Wednesday, and I have to look for a second. So there's someone, I have a group on Saturday on the 23rd. I hope you're watching, or you do end up watching this later. So I have a group in Westland. I have on this Saturday, and I have no idea what time I'm supposed to be there. So I know that we had something in January, and there was some kind of storm. Oh my gosh, did we say 11 a.m.? Oh, I don't know. If you're watching this and I'm supposed to be at your house on Saturday, please tell me what time I'm supposed to be there. Get a hold of me, because I don't even know if I can find you again. I'm assuming I said 6 or maybe 3. I don't know. So I might show up your house at 3, and then you'll have to hang out with me for a few hours. Okay, so let me just see if anybody's here. And I'm going to do this rather quickly, because okay, I have 2 fathers that are coming forward right now. One of them is so oh, something is bugging you, Janny. Oh, is that what you're saying? My voice is doing that? Yeah, I know what's bugging me. Trust me, I know. You guys don't want to know. So, okay. So, okay, I have a male coming forward. Father, grandfather energy. I don't know if they're together because I see somebody who's smoking a pipe and they're trying to. It's interesting because they're talking about you stopping doing crafts. I don't know because they're showing me like glass or I don't know. They're showing me something that I just bought, so I don't know if there's painting or frosting or some sort of thing that you were exploring and then you stopped doing it. I want to encourage you to do it. I also feel okay, so I do have a younger male coming forward. Also feels okay, I have a younger male, I want to say in his 40s, and I feel that he has passed of death by suicide. And what he's showing me is I just heard a lot of depression. A lot of not feeling. I mean, he's coming forward in this feeling conversation and he's talking to me about a lot of depression. So when you're depressed, not always like, look, I'm not a doctor, clinician, and I'm just going to tell you that, I am all for people taking what they need when they need it and helping themselves out with a doctor, of course. Let's not talk self-medication. Self-medication is a whole nother category. I want you, like with a doctor and speaking to somebody about what's going on. But the thing is that he's showing me is not really, lots of depression. Okay, so when I'm feeling this depression, what he's showing me is, it's interesting because I think people around him knew he was depressed. He makes me feel like he showed signs of depression, but not to the severity of death by suicide. But he is taking responsibility for his death, and part of me is showing like he wants. So part of me is seeing that when he does that, when he's coming forward. And it's weird because he's showing me that and I play with this idea, and I know it's true because nobody knows everything about how spirit works or the other side. I'm only a messenger, and I can only give what spirit gives me, not what you want, not what you ask for, but what spirit gives me. And what he's showing me is it may not have looked like his time, but he's showing me that it was his time. I'm also seeing a ton of books. So I don't know if you're sleeping with books next to you. That's usually what I do. I have a ton of books or clothes right beside me. And normally I'm seeing staying up way too late, like studying and staying up way too late. So I would like, there's a component where he's talking about that. I want to give you the message that there needs to be self-care. So if you're finding yourself with books beside you, staying up way too late, and that it's actually that I want to encourage you to begin to do a lot of self-talk. I want to let everybody know over here on Facebook that that I will be moving over to YouTube, and I'm just going to be staying a few more minutes because I'm going to have to rest my voice the rest of the night so I can get through this week. Okay, there's one more thing I had to tell you. What is that other thing? There's one more thing. There's one more thing. I will be at Sal's this Wednesday on the 20th. I will be, there's going to be, like, I know I said that there's going to be a lot of changes coming, and there are a lot of changes coming to the way JannyCook.com looks like. There might even be a name change that goes with that. Oh, it doesn't even come up. So we'll see what happens. But I really want to encourage everybody who's over here on Facebook to find me on YouTube and to, okay, I'm looking to see if I can't see where. Oh, I don't know. I think it's in the comments above. Oh, there it is. I'm going to pin the comment so you can see it. I know that there's a way for me to have my name on there, so I will. I pinned it to the top, so you should be able to see it. Oh yeah, thank you, James. Right, and March 6th, that is right around the corner. I will be at Earth Elements again. Oh my gosh, if you have not been to Earth Elements in Saline, it's a brand new metaphysical shop. It's a brand new metaphysical shop. It is amazing, and James is one of the co-owners. He is amazing. So if you could go in, his name is James McDonald. And interestingly enough, I want to share this because it was so funny. So I have cards, and if you've seen my cards, I have pictures of them some places too. I have all the chakras on there. I've never seen anybody else but James have the chakras as well. I highly recommend like sitting down with him, and he's absolutely amazing. So lots of great stuff in there. And he's an amazing artist. Seriously, James, you're an amazing artist. So, and I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Okay, so, okay. If you're on Facebook, go find YouTube. I'm going to continue for a few more minutes, okay? Adios. Well, adios, Facebook. Yeah, so Earth Elements is, if you're in Michigan, that is an amazing place to go see some, I mean, he's great. And I love that venue. It's a wonderful place. They have such, okay, let me see. Okay, so I did say I was going to go a few more minutes, and I am. I want to, oh, look at that. It's weird to see it. Now, normally I see two of me. Right now I could just see all that little bump on my forehead. So, okay, so hopefully you're come here from Facebook and you have joined, because it is amazing. It's an amazing experience over here on YouTube, and I'm trying to really increase my subscribers. So if you haven't shared this, I would love it if you share it with people and you like it, and you, sit your family down to watch it. I don't know. It's funny because I had somebody over on Facebook say that it was going too slow, and I thought, oh, I'm going too fast. So there's a lot of meat in what we talked about tonight. So I would really suggest that you go back and you listen to it, even with all the mutterings and the side streets and the other ways. These are very, very important concepts that I keep going over and over and over again. And I know that, okay, so hang on one second. I might sneeze. So I always joke about this, and I say that men always come and they cross the other side, and they usually don't come and see me prior in life. They usually are very apprehensive, and it's not, we really have a culture where we really, to talk about things going sideways. We could talk about a lot of stuff. No, it wasn't. It was not too fast. Okay. All right. I'm glad to hear that. I was really concerned that I was hopefully going too fast. I was going too fast. So we really need to be thinking as people, as a culture of compassion towards the men in our culture. Not the men abusing people. That's very different. The men, and allow them space to have their feelings and their emotions. Women have done it so much all of their lives, and they're really encouraged to do that. I want you to encourage that if you have kids and you have little boys, you're encouraging them to really talk about their feelings, talk about what's going on with them, have really heart-to-heart conversations, because that's how things change. Again, it's not that things change instantaneously. It's that it takes time for things to change. Okay, so I have a mother coming forward. She's showing me she's showing me high blood pressure. She's showing me cancer. She's showing me sitting in a chair. And I feel like she may have also been a smoker at one time in her life. But you wouldn't necessarily remember them there. So I'm seeing them in a chair. I'm hearing congestive. Either like a congestive heart failure. It's two women. One with congestive heart failure and one with emphysema. So I'm seeing like, but both kind of come and sit, and they couldn't do a lot. And they're showing like a lot of visitations. One is an aunt, and she starts with a J, and I'm seeing her and a J, and then one ends with an A. I think it's it makes me feel like Joanna. That's one of the aunts. I'm feeling like well, you had a lot of people pass, Kurt. Okay, it's holding it for review. I don't really know. Okay. Okay, so I'm seeing, like, I just had female energy come forward, aunt and a mother. The mother feels like she had more problems with her lungs and chest, like got very winded. So she either could have like a COPD or emphysema in here. Are they the same thing? They just make me feel in the same area when I'm talking. Okay, so I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to happen this Wednesday, because there's a lot of I'm feeling a lot of people wanting to have messages right now, and I don't have what it takes tonight to continue doing this. But I do want to say that I am, there's like female. I just feel like a ton of female energy that just came forward, and some. I mean, I have to give this attention, because there's a female energy, feels like mother, coming forward, but doesn't feel necessarily stable. I mean, I feel like there was a mental issue around her. She's showing me this, and she's showing, and but with that, there is with that, there's a mother and a father figure with her. They feel like they were great aunt, great uncle to a child that's here. It's very confusing. So what they're showing me is it being many people who watched someone, mother, there was distance between the mother. I see a lot of separation. I see separation almost like Grand Canyon-ish. So I feel like there was a lot of mental health issues that went on there, but a lot of guilt to the son that's left. When I'm feeling this, I don't know if I'm feeling somebody here. And again, there's this delay. So with the son that's left, I feel that there's a showing me a lot of guilt. And what I'm actually needing to say is that they're showing me the guilt has to be gone. I need to let you know that the mother is okay, that she is. She may even, because I'm seeing her cross. I don't necessarily believe she's crossed yet, but I believe she's being held by angels and by this mother and they were a mother and father figure to you here, but they feel like great aunt and great uncle. But they're holding her. They're very the couple that's passed, the uncle and aunt, are very high spirit, very high souls. Okay, that's all I got for tonight. That's it. See light, be light. I hope you have a wonderful night. Take care of yourself. And again, I got to figure out where this is. I can turn this off. Oh, there it is. See light, be light, yo. See you next week. Bye.